Jenny McCarthy Show.
Oh! Hi, Jon Taffer.
You are physically here. I can't believe it. Two-dimensional.
How are you? So good to see you.
Same here. This is overdue.
I know, right? I got my other bitch here.
Aw.
DJ.
Little DJ?
John, I was bragging about you.
Uh-oh. What were you bragging about?
I mean, you know the love. I constantly talk about the love and respect I have for you. And then I went, oh my God, he's got a book. There's no one else, I think, better to write a book called Don't Bullshit Yourself. Crush the Excuses That Are Holding You Back by Jon Taffer. The book's available now, I guess, everywhere.
It is.
Let me give you some glasses off, some eye contact.
There we go. There's the Jenny I love.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, my makeup. This is my makeup from Bruce Springsteen last night. I literally woke up and went to work. I'm like, I don't think John cares.
I was a hell of a party, I heard.
I cried.
Did you?
I never saw a show, but I literally burst into tears. Yeah. And I was like, I'm either PMSing, pregnant, or just really like the show.
Great music will do that.
Yeah, it did. It was poetry in motion. Yeah. Okay, so this is the thing I have to say, or ask you. Don't Bullshit Yourself is the name of the book. Now, there's people that are codependents that are more likely to go out and want to fix themselves and, self-improvement. You've seen the narcissists as you go into these shows that are like, fuck you, John, get out of here. They're really hard to crack. You're able to crack a lot of them on the show. I don't know how long it lasts. A lot of them don't keep going.
Yep.
But how do you, the Don't Bullshit Yourself, how do you get that crack into that audience? How do you tell the narcissist that's listening right now that they could use this book?
Think about this for a moment. I've done now 159 bar rescues. I start my 160th episode next week. I've seen failure, Jenny, unlike anyone. Most people talk about success, the blocks of success, the steps of success, the this is success. By the way, your hair is freaking awesome.
Thank you.
But I've learned more about failure the past 5 years than anyone.
So true.
And there's a common denominator. Every one of the bar rescue owners have always blamed it on someone else.
No accountability.
Not one time has anybody looked at me and said, I'm failing because of me. So that really pisses me off, right?
Yes.
So I got to make them own it. So I realize, okay, the common denominator of all of their failure is an excuse. So what the fuck is an excuse? So it took me a month to really define this. An excuse is the rationalization of a mistake.
Uh-huh.
Either you did something you shouldn't have, you didn't do something you should have.
That's right.
Or you screwed something up.
That's amazing.
Or you would never say the excuse.
You're right.
So excuses paralyze us, don't they?
Yes.
They give us a reason not to do something, or they allow us to feel warm and fuzzy about fucking up.
You know what? It's another hat I call that ego puts on. Ego puts on guilt. It puts on it's your fault. It comes in many different, outfits.
So then if excuses paralyze us under the common denominator of failure, I got to bust those suckers, right? So in the book, I first got to make you realize how excuses hold you back.
Yep.
Then I got to teach you what the excuses are that do. So I put 6 in the book, and you'll relate to a bunch of them because you've overcome them in your life.
Yeah, I'm reading it on the whole flight home. I'm getting on the plane. I'm like, give me this. I'm going front to back reading it. Because I love self-help. I love figuring out how I can do better. I want to be an entrepreneur. I am one myself, but I'm the first one that I've learned to take accountability. Yeah. And this is how I started with a spiritual guru that I went to see, Byron Katie. I don't know if you know her.
I know, yeah.
So I sat down with her, and this was like 15 years ago, or whenever the internet started, whenever the comments section started. And I was like, it's really, it's hard to read those comments where people, will say things about me being a mother, and that's just not true, and it really hurts my feelings, and da-da-da-da. And she said something that changed my life, which was, can you find 1% truth in anything anybody says? You don't have to buy all of it, but can you just find a 1% truth in it? And I sat there and went, oh my God, my world opened. Now when anything everybody says to me, no matter what, my husband, if I think I'm right, and he says it, I would find the 1% truth in it, and it is amazing the peace you have on the other side.
Yes, and I've even dealt with that with bar rescue because not everyone is successful. So you got to realize it's cool to talk about the failures.
Right.
The failures are every bit as important as the successes are.
Absolutely.
So the first excuse in the book is fear. And, fear stops people from doing so many things. I mean, look at you. If you were scared, you would have never walked in front of a camera.
Right.
You
And I was terrified.
But you overcame it, didn't you?
Yes.
I mean, now you're sitting in front of a microphone.
Right.
That wasn't exactly not scary the first time you did it either.
No, exactly.
But you overcame it. So when people are fearing something, right, they're scared to do it, they're scared to fail, they're scared to succeed, they're scared. If they think about it for a minute, hundreds of thousands of people have already done it.
Right.
The fear is bullshit.
Exactly.
It's bullshit. So just get away from it. And then the other one is time. I love this one. I ran out of time. If you wanted to do it, you would have made the fucking time. So you blew it off is what you did.
Yes.
So I ran out of time. And people feel good about that when they say that to themselves.
Right? Why is this such a weird human condition for us to have these cock blocks in our lives?
And that's what they are.
Yes.
Where we feel good about something we should, in fact, feel bad about. Right? We fucked up,
Yes.
but we're embracing this excuse, so everything is fine.
It's so true.
It's insane.
I was trying to teach my son, who's now 15, about, he's like, oh, I'm kind of scared to go to that dance. I go, let me teach you something about life. Whatever you fear, it's a signpost. It's something to say, you got to go and you've got to face it. It's literally your signpost.
And he'll feel great when he does.
Totally. And it's so scary, but you have one life.
But the first time you overcome it, it feels so good. You're inspired to overcome it the next time.
It's true.
So it makes a big difference.
And talk about that. You're just really never too old.
No, never. I'm older than you. I never thought I'd be on TV. I'm starting my 160th episode, 7 years on the air. I mean, I would have never imagined such a thing. So what I have to do is I got to get better each episode. I got to get better each season. I got to work this. I can't ride on it. It's got to be better. Your radio show, I love your radio show. I listen to it almost every day.
Oh, my God.
I do. And my wife, Nicole, is your biggest fan.
Oh, really?
I mean, she every day she loves you. But, this show gets better all the time.
Thank you so
much. It does.
much.
It gets funnier. It gets more fluid. If it was the same, it wouldn't be you.
Right. I wanted to. We want to keep working and making it better and better
it is.
and better.
And you can hear it.
I love that so much.
I got one more for you. So the next excuse is ego.
Oh, God,
I love this one. You ever notice the people with the biggest egos have the thinnest fucking wallets? Right?
Yeah.
So ego should be based in some kind of substance, right? You are somebody. That's why you got ego. You got money, you got success,
Right.
you got knowledge, you got something.
Right.
People with egos that have nothing. I mean, what kind of fucking ego is that?
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, people, they embrace something false. So they feel good because they think that they know better than the person who is in fact successful.
Exactly. I'll give you a perfect example, an ex who considers himself to be in show business, and because he never could get a job in show business, considers himself unemployed, but considers his ego to be so big because he's in show business. And I go, how about go to Starbucks and get a job? That's beneath me.
I love it when they say they're a producer.
That's
but the only thing they've ever produced in their life is a fucking business card.
Or an LLC that has changed multiple times.
That you can get online for $99.
Let me keep plugging the book. Don't bullshit yourself. Crush the excuses that are holding you back. There's no one better than you to be writing this book, Jon Taffer. Tell me what your wife would say that you still have to work on.
Ooh, that's a great question. I'd love to say nothing.
Of course.
But maybe patience.
Yeah.
I could be a little more patient. I'm always in such a hurry.
Right.
I'm not good at calming down. I'm not good at sitting down and relaxing. If we went to a resort for the weekend, and I laid in the most beautiful beach in the world in a chaise lounge, and I laid down, 5 minutes later, I would look at you, Jenny, and say, "What the fuck do I do now?"
Resting.
Yeah, that's just I'll get that.
I get that.
Sometimes I just got to calm down. I'm guessing you have a little bit of that.
You know what? I will be laying in bed with Donnie, and he actually had to make a day of the week for ideas, because we'd be like, "Oh, I have another idea. I have another idea for TV show. I love my joy is creating."
Yeah.
But some people just want to shut down.
So is Donnie better at shutting down than you are?
He's better at shutting down, I think, upstairs, but his body doesn't. I can shut down my body a lot easier.
So you sleep well?
I sleep pretty well. He goes 4 hours a night, and
That's
he'll work
me.
100 hours a week.
That's me. Sometimes 2-3 hours a night, but it just seems to work for me.
Hey, if it's not bothering your health, there's nothing wrong with that.
So does he toss and turn and get frustrated all night, or does he get out of bed and do something?
No, he's good. He's pretty darn good at it.
Yeah.
But when we're laying in bed, I'm the one that's like, constantly going. The other, you said another excuse was time. How do you convince people they actually have enough time if they actually stop bitching about having enough? Now, that's when I bring up age, because I went to the Bruce Springsteen concert last night, and this is where the whole audience started crying. And he talked about everyone has this like blank page that's in front of them. And it doesn't matter how old you are, but it's up to you to write or create whatever you want on this blank page.
Tomorrow starts the rest of your life. Right?
And that's when I started bawling, but the whole audience was like, oh my God, all over 40, maybe 50, even 60. And those were considered, I think, the golden years, where I think there's a shift happening where we're realizing we don't have to necessarily stop. We can keep creating.
Oh, yeah. I never thought I'd be on TV, and it happened to me after 50.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I never thought I'd be a celebrity. You've been a celebrity for a long time. It's a little strange when it hits you late in life.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a real change in lifestyle. The days of picking my nose are over.
Right. Or like being like in a restaurant trying to eat, and someone's going, "Can I take a picture with you?"
Oh, yeah. Or they just stare at you the whole time, right? Waiting for you to drool or
Right, exactly. What do you do about people that want free advice?
I'm pretty supportive of people.
You are?
And trying to help people. The problem is I get about 100 emails a month asking me.
Oh, my God.
And they're always business advice. This week I did the Dr. Phil show.
I love Dr. Phil.
And I helped him with a bunch of patients on the show. So
okay, I was going to let you help Dr. Phil. I would love to see you help Dr. Phil.
He actually said, I need a rescue. I'm calling in my dear friend Jon Taffer. But so now I'm getting different kinds. Now I'm getting emails of people who want to help me with their child and others. But, we want to help as many as we can. And that's why I wrote the book. This book started with an interesting story. I was in Youngstown, Ohio, shooting bar rescue. And I drove through the downtown of Youngstown, Ohio. Donnie will like this story. And every storefront was empty. Every fucking one. And I'm driving through downtown, and it's gutted, and there's like 20,000 residences that are empty. And I started to realize every one of those windows was a family, a life savings, a kid who didn't go to college, husband and wife who got divorced, houses that were lost. And really
real
heavy,
stories.
not just a vacancy, but you think of the people that tried and what they lost. And then I'm realizing about my bar rescue experience, and I realized how important it is as America that we fill these frickin' stores.
Yes.
And we get these families back in business again, so to
yes.
speak. So then I was going through this whole excuse thing with all of these bar rescue owners. At the same time, I experienced this really powerful, almost spiritual realization of looking at these empty stores. It became so human to me,
right,
that I started writing this book, and it took me 2 years.
Wow, so
it
that's
was really
where
a passion
it was
for
born
me.
from.
And from driving through Youngstown with the mayor, I came up with this. I have to do something. I got to stop. Why are people losing these stores? And
right.
I'm guessing they would have given me excuses too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that 2 days ago I just did an interview in my local neighborhood about supporting the local community, and I said, you guys, we live in a neighborhood where they don't have big franchises. Everything's a mom and pop store. And I said, you drive down Main Street, I go, look at every one of those vacant buildings. I go, if you see a local store, we have to be a community. They're the ones that you go for support for your softball teams, for your bowling leagues. So
Absolutely.
Support your local communities, and
all
then we
the
can
charities.
fill up these vacancies. It's heartbreaking.
It is a heartbreaker.
I felt the same exact way, and I didn't correlate it to those personal heartbreaking stories.
And you think of the day they had to move out, and they lost everything or filed bankruptcy. It's heavy,
right.
And people who have platforms like we do, if we can inspire
right.
and provide knowledge, and cause those stores to otherwise get reoccupied by a new family with new dreams.
Right.
That's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool. That's why I'm like, the platform that I can serve, I love it. What about, let me ask you a business question in terms of, I've heard a lot of this from people asking me for advice, and I'm like, I'm not necessarily the right person to go to, but they want to start a business and they have a business partner. And they've said, every time I get in business with somebody, my partner, they're either a friend or someone I don't know, it always blows up.
Yeah.
Should I be in it on my own, or should I still keep trusting a partner?
Partners have to justify themselves every day. And where people blow it is they bring a partner in who has money and no knowledge.
Right.
And ignorant money can be very harmful because they give you advice that is wrong, and you've taken their money, so you sort of have to listen. That's a lousy situation.
Right.
First partner I ever had years ago, I put $500,000 into a sports bar in Chicago. All the money I had. I'd worked my ass off for this money, Jenny. And before I signed
That
my
was your
partnership
savings?
papers, before I partnered with this guy, somebody told me that he cheats on his wife every day and he runs all over the place. And somebody said to me, this guy will cheat on his family. He'll cheat on you in a freaking heartbeat.
Oh.
I didn't listen.
Oh.
So I formed a partnership with this guy, but we didn't do all the paperwork. I was young and stupid. And he ripped me off for the $500,000.
No.
And I realized that the first choice of a partner is character and integrity. You don't want to hire or ever partner with somebody who's a cheater, a deceiver, a liar, has no integrity, will do anything that's dirty in any kind of a fashion. So it starts with that. 9 out of 10 partnerships fail because of character, not business issues. So we really got to pick them right.
That's so well said.
You wouldn't have married Donnie without knowing about him.
No. So then how important is it to tell people that just because you fail the first time doesn't mean you're going to fail all the time?
Let me relate this to bars, because you'll love this.
Yes.
Statistically, they say, and it's pretty close, and it varies from region to, that 1 out of 12 bars succeed the first time. So if you were to go open a bar, you've never opened a bar before, you got about a 1 in 12 shot of it working. You, the second time, after that one closes, you lick your wounds, you got money again, you go open the second one, you got a 1 in 3 shot.
Wow.
It's a 400% better chance of success the second time.
Wow.
So most businesses are that way. So understand the first time is really important to set you up for the second time.
That's really interesting.
So accept that failure. Accept that education. Don't be scared of it.
Right.
Get out the other side of it. Get out the other side of it with the knowledge, and the loaded gun, so to speak, that you have the ammunition and knowledge and resources and experience to do better next time. Is
there still the rule of don't get into business with family?
Oh, you've heard me talk about that on Bar Rescue, because I know you guys lay around on Sunday watching it.
Oh, you know it.
I know. So, oh yeah. Here's a problem with families, and you would even do this in your house, because you're sweet. Families nurture each other in weakness. Little Johnny's doing his best. Little Johnny doesn't feel good today. Give little Johnny a break. Little Johnny's cute. But in business world, you can't nurture failure and weakness. So if a family was a team, they'd bench your ass and you'd be out of the game.
That's right.
So we can be a family outside the 4 walls of the business, but within the 4 walls of the business, we need to be a team.
Wow.
And you need to step up, or I got to bench you.
Right.
Because you're hurting the family.
Right. And you can't take it personally.
Yeah.
They're giving me the wrap-up sign. I know but it's Jon. Jon Taffer, you guys pick up the book. Don't bullshit yourself. Crush the excuses that are holding you back. I'm going to read it front and back on the airplane ride, and we'll talk about it even more tomorrow. Please come back. Congratulations on all your success. Thank you.
You too, Jenny.
Tell your wife I said hello and I love her.
I will.
Bye, Jon.
Take care.
Let's take a picture.
Absolutely.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!